We're back to another episode of the Shadow Band Dead Lemons podcast.
Yes,
Who knows if anyone's gonna see this one? Not even our 12 subscribers, apparently, because the last video I posted was only 3.
the project that started off as two guys who were just bored as all hell and didn't give a crap is suddenly starting to we're giving a crap, but not enough. But also, who cares?
No, we still give a crap. We're still doing this crap, aren't we? I mean, who are we even doing this to at this point, you know? Yeah, it's just hard at this point. But you know what? I just see it as a way to vent, talk about what's going on in the world, give us something to do. Two busy guys are still doing this project, you know what I mean?
Busy guys who are no longer right next to each other. The time difference does also have a play in that.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, 5 episodes ago, I'm pretty sure everyone's aware that actually listens to this that I'm literally in a different state now.
Correct.
Yep.
And he's also married, which is gay. So,
I guess, well, at least it's a straight marriage, so not gay. But you know what is gay, though, is being a libtard.
Yeah. That's been kind of a fun...
Are you actually going to dox him, though, or are you just going to say...
Oh, you're bringing Brian into this that quickly? No.
Well, I just jumped straight into it. Well, don't dox him, but you did drop his name, though. But then, Brian's a very common name, so it's fine.
Brian, Bryan, Sayas,
you dropped his last name. Perfect.
Well,
How
listen, there's a lot of
my listeners.
I don't know, but we have a lot of Pinoys, so who knows? I don't know his actual address, so I'm not going to dox him. And I don't hate his address, but he does have a son that I feel like is going to be ruined by him.
I mean, that's just the nature of things with people.
If anybody who listens to this can relate, sometimes you grow up with someone and you basically know by their personality that they're basically screwed for adult life. And sometimes you're proven wrong, which is kind of nice. It's like, oh, wow.
You're hoping you're proven wrong. You know?
Exactly. You don't hate the guy. You're just like, hey, we were friends and stuff, right? Well, Brian is like the opposite. He's the guy who acted like an idiot and then remained an idiot and then got worse when he became an adult. And that's just kind of sad. I was hoping we were going to be wrong about him, but nope. Single father. At least he stays in his kid's life, but at the same time, he's basically preaching to his child about, America evil, America bad, and also gender crap and anti-Nazi stuff, and it's just kind of embarrassing.
Anti-Nazi stuff as you play Nazi stuff
which was ironic. You want to explain that one?
I don't think he was even aware of it, honestly. But I'm assuming he's into the streaming thing, like most millennials / Gen Zers think there can be an influencer at this point in their life now.
Well, that's you and I.
I mean, we tried it. I don't know about you, but for me, I'm like, man, I really don't like putting myself out there. That's the thing. I just accept that I'm not going to put my face out.
We do it in a different way, which is a pre-recorded thing. Yeah.
Well, this is a platform that I prefer to do it in because between you and me, the thing that we do the most is fucking bitch about things. Or vent and bitch.
Which was not supposed to be the goal of this podcast.
But what was the goal? What was the goal that we lost in? What was our general
conversation?
Our team?
It was supposed to be, anime, video games, art, music.
We still do,
but we spend so much time on politics and society.
I mean, it's just so hard, man. At this point, it's just in your face constantly with the social media and all that. But anyway, before we get all into that, essentially is guy posts a lot of anti-Nazi punch a Nazi in the face type, posts like that. And I'll even go back to a post that, kind of was in poor taste. But, do you remember Hurricane Helene that kind of swept up Florida and moved up towards the Carolinas and to the Georgias? Well, he did make a pretty insensitive comment about, wow, if geoengineering the weather is a real thing, well, thank God that it's hitting all the red states and the Trump supporters. I'm like,
And I just want to point out that you don't say things like, if you say something is insensitive, that means something, because you're one of the most insensitive people I know.
Yeah.
But no.
I'm probably being a hypocrite. I probably say the same shit. I just don't really catch myself.
Well, it's about the side that is stupid, so it's less
I
terrible.
suppose. I don't know. I wasn't really. Not that I said anything or said anything to the guy. I just thought that post was poor taste. You know, a lot of those people are, we're fellow Americans. Just because they live in a different state and
Absolutely.
vote differently. I mean, you still gotta treat them with some respect. And to be honest with you, it's already bad enough the government isn't fucking helping them. That no like $750 is not gonna cover anything. Like, come on, really?
No,
And
no.
mind you, that's our money that's being paid, but the government's like holding it and withholding it against
It's essentially an
helping people.
insult, in my opinion. But
Yeah, and then to add more to insult, the actual people that went out, to help each other were like, my neighbor here who happened to have a vehicle or a boat to help people out, and the government's like, no, you can't do that. We got it. I'm like, if you got it, then why didn't you do it in the first place? It seems like
yeah,
all you
exactly.
guys did. I don't know if you saw any of the clips that were actually posted, but like, a lot of the guys from, FEMA coming in, they were on standby
Yeah.
on orders from command. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing that really pisses me off is when the citizens decide, like, hey, you know what, the government's not coming in, we're not getting outside help, we need to do this ourselves. So they start crowdfunding, they start doing, their own type of helping, and then, the local authorities come in and confiscate stuff. Um, that to me is the part that I think is the most infuriating part of it. It's like, listen, if you're not going to come in and help your own citizens, that's one thing. That's offensive enough. It pisses me off enough, but fine, whatever. We're all a bunch of, adults. We can buckle down. We can get serious about it. We can provide for ourselves. But then all of a sudden they start doing that. And now the government shows up to start taking stuff away. Like,
Yeah.
that's just an absolute slap in the face. But
And the whole thing I feel like is a huge psyop as well, and a term that's being thrown off around. But like the fact that it's being brushed under the rug and not enough people are talking about it, and then we're worrying too much about Orange Man bad. Well, if we keep this up, it's gonna get normalized, and next time another natural disaster, it's like, oh well, you're fucked. So government ain't gonna do anything but just take your money and put their boot down your throat.
yeah, well, it's always about what's the most convenient for whatever
Hmm.
agenda at the time is. But yeah, going back to Brian, I think
Oh yeah, that
the
was a
main
big
bit
segue.
was
No.
basically he posts he posts his he posted a video of himself, I guess, seemingly streaming a game while listening to, like, what is that, a drum and bass version or something?
With
Uh, a drum and
Erica,
yeah,
Erika.
yeah, and he's like dancing to it, and we don't think he knows that it's associated with Nazi Germany. Um, but if he does know, that's extraordinarily hilarious and also hypocritical based off of all of the things that he posts. Um, but I did mention something in the post, and I don't think he knows that.
I don't think
So
I caught it, but
basically, all of those type of people are extraordinarily brain dead, which is a bit unfortunate. However, I will say there are some um, that sometimes can think. They're just thinking incorrectly. I told you about this in passing a few days ago, but I semi recently just went to a Cyberpunk 2077 themed bar.
are you still rolling?
uh, and it was cool. It was a little less cyberpunky than I was hoping it would be, but it was cool.
I don't think I ever asked you where was it actually being held? Like what bar?
It's a bar called something Franca over in downtown LA. Uh, kind of just outside of Little Tokyo, somewhere around there. I think it's on like 6th or 7th Street, something like that.
Okay, it was like a small venue, big venue.
Yeah, it's a pretty small bar,
Okay,
cozy, but not like a massive bar or anything. But yeah, no, they just had like some cool lights. They had a bunch of like cyberpunk themed stuff playing on the screens, and they had a DJ there that was playing a bunch of the music from the game, remixes of music from the game, and music that was similar. But it was, yeah, pretty cool. And then they had I think 3 of the game in-game cocktails there. The David Ramirez, the Johnny Silverhand, and the oh no, I feel so bad I'm forgetting his name. Your
One.
boy in the beginning,
Oh, Jackie Wells.
Jackie Wells. Yeah, rest in peace, that poor
I don't
guy.
know where the Wells came from. That was like a Hispanic dude.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, it's the future, so everybody's kind of like mixed race. But
Hey,
the Great Replacement Theory, eh?
hey, I'm a D. I hire, man. I
But
told him what to think, man.
get out of my head. But yeah, no.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So yeah, it was good times. A lot of cool people. And then while I was at the bar, this individual comes up, kind of skinny dude, uh, buzz side of his head, with a long braided ponytail type situation, tatted up and everything. And we start talking because he comes over to order a drink right next to me. And we're kind of shooting the stuff, and it's great. It's seems kind of like a okay guy, kind of funny, obviously into the game and everything. But then as we talk more and more about the in-game politics, he starts opening up more and more about himself and essentially how he is a punch a Nazi in the face kind of individual,
Now, did
anarchist.
did he use those words like "I'm a punch a Nazi" type individual or what?
He used the words anarchist and fuck a Nazi kind of a thing.
Oh, does
He
that mean you like him?
what?
Does that mean he likes him? You know, fuck a Nazi type.
I mean, it depends. Sometimes you do it out of prominence.
That's
But
Hans.
but yeah, no. I get the punch a Nazi in the face thing from basically a example he gave me of some concert that he was at, and he saw somebody with like Nazi symbolism on their person, and that he basically went over there and punched the crap out of him. And
Wait, the guy was performing at the show and he punched him?
no, he was an attendee, just like the guy that I was talking to was. They were both there for a
What?
concert.
You know, the Nazi sign, and I'm just gonna interject here real quick. Strangely looks like the sign of Hinduism. Are you sure he didn't punch like a random Hindu guy? It's
Hey, and you know what? Like Hindu monks, they're
yeah,
bald. So who
yeah,
knows?
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You know, it's funny because like to bit of a segue, but like I've seen someone claim like, "Oh my lord, those monks are all Nazis." I'm like, "No, that's literally the sign of Hinduism or Buddhism or whatever enlightenment." That's like you do
Yeah.
realize Nazi Germany took that symbol and used it. It originated. It's a much older symbol.
Yes,
And then I'm
thousands
like,
and
oh,
thousands of years.
and it's funny because I remember the conversation. I don't get it. They're freaking Chinese guys. Why are they Nazis?
Was this somebody you knew?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh wow, that's rough.
Yeah.
Um,
And I just had to explain to them, that symbol is a lot older than you think it is, okay? It's not all
yeah,
about
for real.
Nazis.
But I did ask him though. I'm like, now was this a guy that you assume was a Nazi, or like did you know he was a Nazi? And he goes, "Oh, he was a Nazi, man. Like he basically said it." It was loud in there, so I did not hear what the guy said. But whatever he said something that confirmed it. And so I'm like, okay, this is interesting. We were having a friendly time and stuff. Now I know who this guy is, and he doesn't really know who I am. So this could go one of a few ways. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not here to start problems, but
What,
I'm
what was this?
also
What was this guy's ethnicity again? Sorry, I didn't mean
he
to
was
cut
a
you off.
mix of something between like a Native American and some other stuff.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, definitely had
Another
some
culture that's known to genocide its own people. That's cool.
yeah, and are weak against blankets, but whatever.
Like, fucking diseases.
Every time they go to bed, they put their blanket on, and it reminds them.
I know, right?
But anyways, um, but yeah, so I'm thinking in the back of my mind, like I don't really want to start anything, but at the same time, I kind of had this like rushing surge of just like, but I also don't want to be a fag and not say anything, you know. So I try to play it tactfully. So we kept talking, and I kind of like asked him more about, oh, so you don't like Nazis and stuff like that, like how come? And so he starts telling me, and blah blah, it's the usual kind of uneducated reasons.
Let me guess. The gas chambers. I'm assuming is
Well,
what he
yeah, just
mentioned.
the white supremacy and suppressing the little guy and all this different stuff.
See, those guys, I mean, I'll just say this. Those guys that they put on camera there, those guys are fucking idiots too.
Who?
You know, the white supremacist types they put on the news. I'm like, yeah,
Oh
those
yeah,
guys,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
that's on purpose.
Exactly. And so it kind of leads into where I start kind of getting into it, where I essentially told them after a while of talking, I'm like, well, can I say something to you? Like we're having a good time, and we've got each other drinks and stuff, and yeah, just having a good time, just a couple, I even said chooms, just a couple of chooms, just enjoying a good night, good music, right? And he goes, yeah, of course, man. All right, I'll tell you, but gotta promise, to be open minded. And he goes, yeah, absolutely. And I'm like, so I'm basically a Nazi sympathizer myself.
Now,
And
that was that
his
based off of everything he said, or you just kind of just tell him just straight up, yeah, I've always been like this.
no, I told him like this is who I am, and you've been talking with somebody that you say that you would never talk to, you know. And his face went through a roller coaster of emotions, from like just shock to then confusion to then like almost like aggressive anger to then back to confusion. And I just told him, I went through the whole rigmarole, of trying to red pill people. I talked to him about, uh, white nationalists and all that kind of stuff and actual racism and all this different stuff. And I'm like, hey, we can agree that this stuff is bad, right? Like, yeah. Oh, you're so angry at another race that you're going to go after somebody that you've never seen before. You don't know if they're a good person or a bad person. And you're going to, beat the crap out of them just because they're a different color or something, right? Like, we can both agree that that's bad. Yeah. And he goes, yeah, well, yeah. I'm like, exactly. Nazi stuff and Hitler stuff was never about that. And he goes like, well, what do you mean? Prove it. Because, obviously we've all heard blah, 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 blah. And so I told them about the coin with the Star of David on one side and the swastika on the other that uh, commemorates the cooperation of the Jews who heeded Hitler's arrest to leave Germany, and Germany sent all their assets with them and built whatever business they had owned from ground up or was removing. All of the gas chambers, the problems with the reality of that, and the ovens and the amount of people you have to burn for how long. Basically, it's a boss reach 6 million. In fact, now, like,
Did you also add when they did the geo scans of like Treblanka and be like, there's like no bodies in the freaking dirt?
no, I didn't get to that, but I did. Like, mind you, I was in several drinks, and it was loud,
Right.
and it was kind of moment, so I didn't get to every little piece, but I feel like I got to enough. Like talking about how Hitler even tried to execute his own officers who were in charge at certain concentration camps, who were found to be mistreating Jewish prisoners. And like, don't you think that's strange? Do you think it's weird that the guy who wants everyone, these people to be dead, is suddenly judging his own guys for doing that? Like, that's strange, doesn't it? And he's surprisingly following along, and he says a few things. Also said that he's an anarchist, and with those things, I like, you know what, man, this might come as a surprise to you, but like, I agree for the most part. I don't feel like communism is the right answer. And he goes, yeah, and well, I don't believe communism is the right answer either. I'm like, oh, okay, that's surprising. Usually anarchists and communism go hand in hand, but apparently he wasn't. So we basically both agreed, like, well, what I told him was, capitalism isn't evil innately. Human beings who suck and want power and want infinite money and all this kind of stuff will always find loopholes and ways to abuse the system for their benefit. It doesn't matter if it's capitalism or communism or socialism, like, they're going to find a way to make the most out of it. And he agrees. And I'm like, all right, cool. So we both agree that it's not you versus me, right? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, what about white supremacy? And he goes, well, what do you mean about white supremacy? Like, it definitely exists. And I'm like, oh, 100%. Although I disagree that it's as prevalent as the media and some people try to make it seem. But can you and I agree that it's not the actual problem? Like, we know after our conversation right now that we agree that it's a people in power that are trying to create a divide between little nobodies like you and I to distract us from what they're trying to do. And he goes, yeah, definitely. I'm like, okay, so white people aren't the problem, right? And he goes, no, you're right. You're right. White people are not the problem. I still think that white supremacy is bad. I'm like, yeah, real white supremacy is bad.
But then,
But that is so much
you're
more
literally
there.
just ingesting the propaganda they're trying to push down everyone's throats.
Exactly. So it was kind of cool because I did get him to kind of slow down on certain things and open his eyes on other things. And yeah, we ended up getting along, still getting along the rest of the night. The Want to Stay at Your House came on, and obviously everybody in the bar starts like dancing and singing to that song because for obvious reasons. And yeah, and we stayed on good terms. That type of individual I don't mind, because we had an opposing view, we had opposing beliefs, but we were able to sit down and share our own things with the other person. And some things, oh, hey, I never thought about it that way, or I didn't know that, or whatever. That shows a working mind, a mind that may have been misled or misinformed, but not so gone that it can't realize when presented with facts or when presented with something that's mysterious or curious, to be able to try to weigh it for themselves. Whereas someone like Brian, that's just, there's no getting through. He consumes, and that's all his mind does. It's consumption. There's no actual thinking there,
Right.
and that's what makes that whole story kind of sad. Is
Well,
like,
I agree. I mean, that's the whole, just the thing. It's just a great divide. You label someone a certain group or anything, and then you essentially dehumanize them, and then makes it easier for you to hate, other people.
yeah,
Or the topic of the day is white supremacy. Who knows? It could be Mexicans tomorrow. It's just the
well, no,
name of the
it
game.
literally no, but that's the crazy part. It is Mexicans today,
Now
and
it
it's
is.
also blacks today. As soon as right after the freaking election, when Donald J. Trump was reelected.
All of a sudden, he wasn't a racist, and all those Reddit bots disappeared.
Yeah, but also, CNN and MSNBC were having, these panels talking about how the new, white supremacists and all that were now included
Oh yeah,
Hispanics, blacks, and
Hispanics have
Asians.
voted for Trump. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that is the most absurd thing to say, especially from such an officially recognized platform. It's one
Okay.
thing if
I
like you
mean,
come across some random idiot at a bar and they say that, right?
right.
Like, it's still dumb, but you're like, oh, you're a nobody. Who cares?
Oh,
But
come
the
on, man.
fact that it's able
It's
to be aired,
that's just Project Mockingbird in play. Come on.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, for sure. But it's crazy, absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
And then
it's
you're
sad
gonna have
that
people like Brian who are just gonna be like, oh yes, yes, TV, tell me how to think. Oh, Mexicans and blacks and Asians are the new white supremacists. Oh, you're so right. I'm gonna punch myself in the face because I'm Asian, or whatever. It's just like,
as much as we joke about it, there's actually people that do that to themselves because of what was it, like white fragility or something like that.
yeah, but they're not doing it hard enough, because the only right way to do that would be kill yourself, and then boom, you've made up for all of
You
your
suck.
white people sins, and now you're out of the gene pool.
Now, you know what? I get that, but I kind of wish they'd just break themselves out of that
Me
trance of
too.
just.
Me
But
too. Right.
it's
I might be a
it's getting
butthole.
harder and harder these days to get through to these people.
I think it's getting easier, actually,
Do you
on the
think so?
contrary.
Oh,
I'm coming across way more people now who used to be on the other side, who are now either kind of sitting on the fence or have just recently come to the other
I
side.
think I think based on where you live, like recent policies have kind of opened their mind to like, okay, maybe this isn't working.
Well, yeah, especially Los Angeles, man. All
Oh
the
yeah, dude,
crazy
for
crap
real.
here, the cost of living, the homelessness, the drugs, the crime, all that. Although it's interesting because it looks like that bill that basically kind of reaffirmed, like, no, we are going to come down hard on crime. It seems like the cops are already kind of, following through with that. There was this one group of girls or couple of girls over in Orange County who stole, I think it was like a little over $600 worth of stuff at like a,
Oh wow, that's below the $1,000 misdemeanor. Okay.
yeah. Because that's what it was. It's like, hey, anything under $1,000 is just a misdemeanor, and so cops wouldn't even show up half the time. But now it's below that again. I don't remember exactly how low it is now, but basically the $600 worth of stuff that they thought wouldn't have been a felony, they got charged with a felony. And it's so funny because there's video of them in the back of the squad car talking about, yeah, man, we're in Orange County and they don't mess around like that, blah blah blah. And it's like, but I thought it was just a
Wait, they
misdemeanor.
went to OC of all places. That place
Yeah,
is pretty hard on people like
yeah,
that.
yeah. But yeah, they're talking about it. I'm like, well, this is a conversation that you guys might have like maybe wanted to have before doing what you did. But anyway, so they did that, and then there's been a couple more examples around California where now shoplifters are getting charged with felonies.
As it
So
should be.
yeah, absolutely. So it's good to see that there is not just the push from the people when it comes to voting, but also the action from the people who are in authority to actually go and follow through with it. But
Right.
obviously that starts to bottleneck, because obviously Gavin Newsom still
Is the
is an
governor.
idiot. Still the governor, still an idiot, still talking about like, oh, don't worry, illegal immigrants. When Trump comes into power, we're gonna basically protect you. And it's like,
I mean, him and
yeah,
definitely some other blue states as well. I think was it Massachusetts was in that same thing too. It was like, oh, we're not going to do anything. We won't comply. Which if you think about it in terms of like federal law, it's technically I forgot the word.
mandatory.
Not mandatory, but like when you go against the government, it's technically like treason. There you go, treason.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think
it
too that,
wasn't treason opening the border, which
yeah, which is kind of retarded within of
yeah, it's
itself. But
ridiculous.
also, it's like if the federal government is able to, have a dream team put together, which it seems like they are right now,
Hmm.
where it's a bunch of people who know the system inside and out, who are efficient and an actual leader, then they won't need the state's cooperation. They're just going to have teams come in and get who they're looking for, and that's it, in and out, and so the only next step would be like, okay, well, we said we weren't going to assist the federal government, but they're really good at their job, so the only way we can really help you illegals out is if we start fighting against the federal government, which I doubt any blue state is going to do.
Nah.
That's basically suicide, you
Yeah.
know so
Yeah,
yeah.
it's crazy that we mentioned the dream team, but just looking back at the start of this YouTube page, we literally went through 3 different cycles of Donald Trump.
Oh yeah, for sure.
First him in office, second we're like, oh yeah, he's definitely gonna win it, and then we're like, oh what, they cheated.
Mm-hmm.
So now where we're at now, dude, it's like the full saga, like the Star Wars saga, but not Luke because Luke sucks.
No, leave him out
If
of
there,
this.
please.
My boy.
Yeah,
He
but
was
yeah,
just
dude, that's it's
yeah.
crazy that took us this long to come to the realization that holy crap, he's back in office again. So since we've come to that realization, do you foresee things to be changed in the upcoming year, or do you see more or less the deep state kind of getting their hands back into the mud
Well,
and screwing everyone over again?
the way I look at it, and we've discussed this before, so I'm just gonna like refresh on it real quick. I don't trust Donald Trump. I don't
No,
trust
no,
him.
no.
I don't
You
trust
shouldn't
Elon
trust
Musk.
any
I don't trust
politician. Let's
anybody.
just put
Yeah,
that out there. We're
but
not. We should put it out there. We're not hardcore MAGA Republicans or
absolutely
anything.
not.
We're
But I
very
will say
much in
this:
the middle and reason.
assuming that he is actually like trying to fight against the establishment and trying to do what's right for the American people, no strings attached. Assuming that's the case, yes, I see major, major changes and major shifts in quality of life, in progression, through like finances and housing and all that kind of stuff. And I also see a major shift societally. We've got a lot of people now in power, and who are going to be in power, who are not, super down with all this trans crap, or any of that. So I see, and I'm already starting to see it to a degree, that now edgy, non-politically correct humor and entertainment is becoming more prevalent, kind of like how it used to be.
Yeah,
And a lot.
what a big shift, man. I don't
Yeah,
know. Back in the day, bullying was a normal thing. Saying stereotypes was funny. Now stereotypes can't even be differentiated from like racism and just cracking a joke.
it's differentiated, but okay.
I've had a couple of glasses of whiskey. It's hard for me to
Yeah.
form words right now.
I thought you're
And wine.
showing your true illegalness.
Me illegal? You know how much
Yeah, you
fucking
tree monkey.
I pay a lot of money. I pay a lot of money to this government. I am far
I
from
know.
illegal.
I know. But
I
anyways,
contribute, friend.
I know. That's why we're friends. If we weren't contributing, we could not be where we are. Because
No. If anything,
yeah,
my contribution is so damn high is the reason why I'm like this now.
you've always been like that.
I'm a lot worse now.
Anyways, what I was going to say is,
go ahead.
yeah, there's a very obvious shift already happening where certain things that were not okay just a few months ago before the election are now okay. I mean, look at musically, right? Tech Nine, they got banned off of
Spotify, baby.
Because white supremacy and all that other stuff. And then all of a sudden, apparently they're back now. So that's been happening a lot. So I see a lot of media, maybe not all, but a lot of media is trying to shift back. They're trying to backpedal from all of this, leftist liberal propaganda bullcrap and all that. And they're trying to go back to just normal type media. I mean, even in the movies, a lot of these bigger companies and stuff are realizing like, hey, a lot of this woke crap isn't working. It's actually making us lose too much money. And they're going back.
Like those ESG scores.
The ESG scores and all that, yeah. I mean, Disney
and in my case, the sector I work in, HCAP scores, which is also freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, medical related stuff. So
yeah,
yeah. So I definitely see a lot of that changing back. As far as infrastructure goes, I don't know. That would be very intriguing to see how Elon Musk and the Wami Pastrami guy, whatever his name is,
Vivek Ramaswamy.
There we go.
Hey, come on, man.
To see, I don't know. He's still an Indian to me. So
damn, bro. You do realize the new director of FBI is also an Indian guy, right?
Yeah, I'm not happy about it, but we'll see what happens.
Patel. You really don't know anything about Cash Patel?
Yeah, I know about him. I just, I listen. Unless I'm around a Pajit,
hey, there's ones that do not poop, my friend.
I agree, but you know how you get to tell?
What?
By being around them and smelling. And if they smell like an Indian, they're still an Indian. Okay.
Dude, trust me. Everyone I work with is pretty much what you're describing right now.
Stinky or non-stinky?
Well, for the most part, non, which I'm glad about.
Oh, okay, yeah. Those ones are usually the good ones.
I like the ones who are Americanized. I don't like the ones who come from the old country on the trains. No.
Literally coming on the trains.
Literally coming on the train and literally pooping.
For real. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that whole Doge department turns out.
So fucking funny that they use that.
Yeah, I mean, assuming that Elon isn't an extremely great actor and an antichrist, basically. Assuming that,
I do find that he's always he was wearing that weird like 666 crap that was one of his Twitter files.
You're talking about the red leather armor?
Yeah.
That wasn't 666. It was Baphomet and a couple upside down crosses. I literally just had this discussion. I know, I literally just had this discussion with my dad because he brought that up too. So that picture is back from around the time of him either trying to or after obtaining Twitter, right? And it was around that time when the general public's kind of outlook on him went from wow, we love Elon to we hate Elon, because all of a sudden he was starting to do
We
a lot more
hate you, but the
controversial.
car is green, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep driving
Well, I
it.
mean, they never, yeah, they never make sense. But regardless, so at the time, a lot of people were calling him evil and hating him and all this kind of stuff. Elon
But you
Musk
know,
has always been really good at trolling people,
yeah. But
and
you know, I was gonna add to the troll thing. Did you know he was like top 5 in Diablo 4?
yeah, yeah.
So I can
Well, that's
help
the
but
thing.
think that armor is just stemmed from his obsession
There
with
have
playing
been
Diablo.
there have been occasions in the past where people started drawing conspiracy theories off of little things that he's worn or referenced to that ended up being from video games that people just weren't aware of. And he games. He actually games. He streams sometimes when he's gaming. The guy's a nerd. Whether he's an evil nerd or a good nerd, who knows? But
And we'll
what I do
tell.
know is
Oh,
this:
we know
like,
the evil nerd is Bill Gates.
oh yeah, there's a reason why that guy looks the way he does. But um, so basically, in summary, I look at that leather armor as a couple of things. One, it was him basically accepting all of the hate and be like, yeah, maybe I am evil. I'm the champion's devil. Look at me. Wow, wow, wee, wow. It's like, as satire and as a way to basically just tell everybody who the hell cares what you think. Because again, he's done that before. Or maybe he is. Maybe he is. Or actually, okay, maybe there's a third one. Maybe he just thought it looked cool. And this is the reality. When you're dealing with conservative Christians in the political realm, right? We tend to try to look at everything as like everyone must be a Christian, right? And maybe that would be a great ideal world, but it's not. And oftentimes the person that you're voting for isn't a Christian. I don't believe that, currently at least, I don't believe Donald Trump is a Christian, even though he talks about God a lot now and all that kind of stuff. I don't believe that he is.
Though I will say he probably has a bit better of a acceptance of his spirituality based on what happened to him
Oh, of
twice.
course. No. Well, like I said, he's talking about God more now than ever before. So obviously that assassination attempt, got him there. Will it?
I know it's a bit off topic, but dude, can you imagine like if he just didn't turn to look at that chart?
Yeah, he'd be gone.
What kind of world would we be in right now?
The funny thing is, everybody wants to talk crap about that shooter.
Oh, it never happened. It was all faked. I could have done that.
No, people still think that he shot himself. How the hell is?
Dude, I had a coworker that literally believes that crap. I'm like, have you ever shot a gun before? Do you know how just the level of failure just to get that? Like, it's impossible.
Yeah.
And are we gonna forget the firefighter that died? Like, don't you think that's kind of like disrespectful?
Not
Like,
just died,
that's just
not just died because they said he died, but no, it's on video.
he's dead.
Yeah,
Someone died.
I did
You
all
know, it
my
was fake.
research
It
and
was fake.
everything, and it was, yeah. But anyways, what was I trying to say? Oh, so everybody wants to talk crap about the shooter, like, oh, what a terrible shot. If Trump didn't turn sideways, he would have hit his mark with iron sights. And I'm sorry, 400 yards away.
It's not hard for an AR platform.
Well, no. It's not about hard for an AR platform, because yes, distance, completely fine. Aiming with iron sights at someone's head from 400 yards while they're moving is not an easy shot. And there's a divide between YouTubers who are into guns, and there's a small section who want to be like, yeah, this guy sucks, blah, 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 whatever. Then you have people like Grantham
No,
and
he
a
was
few other people who were
bad
actual
actor.
military, okay? Actual military, who are saying, no, that's actually not a super easy shot to make.
The fact that
Especially not with iron sights.
he was that close to the mark is he's
on his
shot
first
before.
shot. On his first shot. So anyways, I'm not trying to say like, hey, that shooter was the best person who ever lived. No, I'm glad he missed, and I'm glad he's dead.
Yeah.
But
Of course, they swept him under the rug, and apparently he doesn't have a social media following for a 20-year-old, which is bizarre to me.
a little bit, yeah. So yeah. Anyways,
Also, shout out to Matt from Demo Ranch.
oh yeah, you want to get into that a little bit? just touch on
Oh,
it.
dude. Oh yeah. Anyways, what a good time, right?
Very good time. I went over to your place. I don't know, like a month or two ago at this point, and just to kind of hang out for a couple weeks. We went to the Renaissance Festival, which was amazing. The best Renaissance Festival I've been to. I will be going back again, and I will be camping out every time here on out because that's the only way to do it for me. We went to a couple museums. We did a lot of stuff over there, but one of the things that we did was Demolition Ranch. Now has this plot of land that they use for a shooting range where you can go and sign up for what they call the demo ranch experience, and they have an assortment of guns that you can shoot and all that kind of stuff. If you're going by yourself, it's very expensive. If you go with a group, actually not that bad because I think it's like what,
Well, technically,
$400,
uh,
$500.
well, technically, it was just you and me at this point, based on finances. But I'm not
Oh,
gonna get into
that
that.
son of a gun.
It's okay.
Spoiler alert, Brian again. Anyways, but yeah, generally, like if you have a group of people, it's actually not too bad.
Brian again. Was that me?
Oh, no reason. Anyways,
Okay, fine.
you want to talk about the what happened when we get there?
In terms of the
Just what happened, like when we got there and all that. Like, just tell the story if you want to tell a story.
oh yeah, I mean, I took a piss in front of the gate. That's
Yeah, we arrived there early,
oh,
and
dude, I had to go.
yeah, there was nobody around. So, but nobody told you to do it right at the fence because
That's
I have a
true.
feeling they probably have a trail cam set up by
They
their
probably see
gate.
my dick.
Yeah,
More than likely. Shout out to David who's seen my dick. Also,
probably.
nice tundra. I really like your tundra.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
Very
haven't.
nice.
Not a day goes by where I don't think about that nice maroon red tundra.
It was a nice color. Very nice
Yeah.
color.
You know what? They don't sell it. I've actually went on the Toyota lot. I'm like, what the fuck? They don't have this color.
It
It's
might,
got to be a
yeah,
custom
could just
job.
be custom. Mhm.
Yeah. Anyways, we met David, and I forgot the other guy's name, which is sad.
Mikey.
Mikey. There you go, Mikey. Yeah, we met the guys from Demo Ranch, and we got to shoot some guns. Big guns, small guns, all guns. Actually, no small guns. I don't even think. I don't consider that Desert Eagle was not small to me.
True. Yeah, that's fair.
Anyways, yeah, we got to shoot some guns and hang out with some cool gun guys, and it's interesting because there's an archetype to a certain type of personality you meet, and you come to realize that gun guys are almost the same when it comes down to humor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain.
You want me to go there, really?
Well, maybe not the very last part, but you can talk about everything else.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I was hinting about, but I wasn't gonna say anything.
Yeah, no, but you can talk about everything else.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to throw him under the bus. But anyways, yeah, we had to shoot a bunch of guns. Listen to my friend constantly remind us that he was in the Marine Corps. That's nice.
Mm-hmm. And he was. I wouldn't say the worst
He
shot.
listens. He listens to
Wasn't
this,
great.
right?
Yeah, Miko, you got to work on your aim. Anyways, yeah. No, I mean, I thought you were going to go into a little bit more detail. Basically,
What detail did you want?
no, you suck at telling stories. Anyways, so we show up. Dave, which is I guess usually the camera guy in a lot of the YouTube videos.
You
he showed
about
up
the
to
background
take
check?
the
Okay.
and he was cool. Like he shows up in his truck. Gate opens. He has a big old bearded smile and flags us down like, come on in. It's like big old smile. I'm like, damn, okay, this guy's got so much energy. I can feel it through the car. It's amazing. So we're like, cool. We follow him down the dirt road. Yeah, Jan's over there lusting over his truck.
I think that's all I was talking about today. It was the fact that we shot like amazing guns. I was like, that truck.
Yeah, it was. And we get to the range part and do the introductions, and
I had to say so myself. I'm gonna have to get myself a Tundra.
Okay, you can shut up now. We do introductions. He kind of gets a gist that like we're not complete novices when it comes to firearms. So he's like, when we go over the safety part, I'll just kind of speed through it because you guys don't seem completely incompetent. And
which I think is a compliment. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
David.
That is cool. Yeah.
Out to David if you're listening to this.
I doubt it, but yes, if you're here, you're a
I should go
legend.
back to the email of the receipts he sent. I just sent him. Hey, David, blow us up, will you? You know, send us out there.
We actually get blown. He mails us pipe bombs.
Yo, go on
Hey.
Brandon Herrera's page and post our links. Which is a missed opportunity, which fucking sucked. I think about it.
Yes. Okay, you can shut your mouth, and because you suck at telling stories, and I'm getting there, and now you're ruining the story.
That's why I rely on you.
Why does your microphone keep cutting out whenever you peak?
I don't know. I've been kind
Stop
of
speaking so loud.
because I'm spazzing a little bit. That's why.
Anyway, so after introductions, I'm Mikey's there, but Mikey's really quiet. He's doing stuff in the background, setting things up. He didn't even really say hello to us when we showed up. So I'm a little like, oh no, are these guys like not as cool?
Your typical gun guys that just all about it.
So I'm trying to be careful. But then Dave says a couple things. We have a couple laughs, and I'm like, I don't know. You know what? I think Dave at least is safe. So we go over the safety stuff. At the very end, he goes, so you guys have any questions about anything so far? And I say, I've got a question. Not really gun related, and he goes, yeah, what's up? And I'm like, so are you guys doing background checks on the t-shirts now or what? And for those of you who might not understand that reference, the shooter who tried to assassinate Trump the first time was wearing a Demolition Ranch t-shirt,
which a shirt that I actually own.
Yes. And but anyways, it was good. It landed real good. Dave started cracking up. Even Mikey started laughing a bit, and basically after that point, I realized like, okay, these guys are chill. They got good heads on their shoulders. Yeah.
One of us.
And yeah, shared some amazing jokes back and forth. I like how the first gun that you shot, you sucked real bad with.
Because I've never shot with iron sight, which is strange, right?
Which is hilarious, yes. But you play video games, you know.
But you know what? Hey, mind you, when they told me, "Hey, you gotta look down the two holes," I'm like, okay, and I just did perfectly.
Yes. Well, you missed a couple, but yes, after that, you did fine. But then you get to the AK, and you hit almost every single shot. And I love how Dave and Mikey both looked at you and were like, "Wait a minute, why were you terrible with the American gun, but with the AK you're really good?" And I love how you chimed in with like, it's your Southeastern Asian blood or whatever, and all that. It was good times, man. Lots of laughing, lots of good stuff. That was a blast.
Based on that comment, fuck, should I just not get the Jackal then? Should I just buy myself an AK?
Never.
Yeah,
AKs are a novelty.
They are, honestly.
You live in Texas, you get yourself a damn AR.
You're damn right. I'm gonna get myself an AR
and a repeater for fun.
You're damn right. I'm gonna get myself a Henry Golden Boy. That's what they call him out here, a Henry Golden Boy.
Absolutely.
Which is funny because that's what your dad was taught. Well, the joke is the guy when I used to work out in San Antonio.
Yes, I get it.
It's sad. I never got to go hog hunting with him because I just got too busy with the movie.
Idiot.
But he was like, "Yeah, we go out hog hunting.
We could have gone hog hunting when I came over, but then you're like, I don't really want to. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Sucker. Anyways,
I'll do it next time. Jeez. Well, I didn't want to go hog hunting because I don't have a damn AR.
He probably does, and he would have let you use it.
All the way out. I'm just gonna hit the guy out of the blue, like, "Hey, I got some friends from Blueville over here. Let's go hog hunting." I'm not gonna just do that to him.
Well, then be a better friend and talk to him throughout the year.
Oh, dude, don't tell me about being a better friend. I did a lot for you guys when you're here. Okay.
No, I'm talking about your communication because your communication sucks. Now
it's always been that way.
I know, but lately it's been great. But I'm just saying, like with him, you could maintain a friendship.
Well, yeah, but I was never actually that close.
He already invited you out.
Yes, he did invited me out. I just was kind of awkward about it. That's the only reason why.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
That guy's twice my age, man. He's trying to rape me. That plays in the back of my mind, like, okay, this older man.
Hey, man, sometimes you just got to take one for the team. All right.
No. Like, I'm like, this older man, twice my age, just invited me out to go in the middle of nowhere with guns. I'm like,
Mind you, it's not some random old guy. It's a coworker
Yes,
of his,
it's a
essentially.
coworker, but mind you, I don't know. In the middle of nowhere with guns, just me and him. Like, come on.
I think
Little
you're a little
paranoia on
wuss.
my end. You got to understand that.
Your testosterone has gone up over the years, but it could still use some work.
Oh no, that's just my paranoia playing it. I
That's what I'm
have.
saying. If you have enough testosterone, you don't have paranoia.
Oh my gosh, I have plenty. The issue is I haven't known him long enough to warrant going out in the middle of nowhere down in Laredo with
Well, apparently
guns.
to him, you did know each other long enough.
Well, you know what? I was freshly out of Los Angeles. I
He
didn't know
could
how
smell it
Texas
on you.
people were like.
Like, hey boy, let me take you back to my place
Oh
and make
shit!
you a real Texan.
Look at that sunset. Oh, boom. No. It's I was paranoid. You know what? I was freshly. I just moved out to San Antonio. I was so paranoid about meeting people. I didn't know what Southern hospitality was. I was freaked out about how much people small talk out here.
That was
Now that
funny.
I've been out here a lot longer, I get it now. I get it. Now I'm ready. I'm prepared. Texas, take me.
You've made leaps and bounds of improvements. It was very fun to witness
But
firsthand.
you at least got to give it to me. You can understand where my paranoia came from. I'm coming from LA, where you can't trust anyone for the most part.
Yeah, but you're still you.
Yeah,
So
I've always been a paranoid spaz. Okay, you know this. Just ignore me. But you know, I come out here.
you said that almost exactly how Keanu Reeves would have said it as Johnny Silverhand. Say that one more time, but like Keanu.
Paranoid spaz.
Nah, that was kind of screwed up. I can't
I
put you on
don't
the
even.
spot, but yeah.
Well, anyways, you know what? I come out here. It's a big culture shock for me. It's a culture shock for me. People
Yeah.
like the small talk here. I'm not used to that. Anytime
Mhm.
someone small talks you out in like LA, you're like, oh fuck, I'm gonna get robbed. You know what I mean?
Generally, yeah.
Generally, at least for me. You know what I mean? As a guy who's actually been robbed through small talk, so I'm paranoid. Okay, so I come out here. A lot of small talk goes up. You know, happens here. Is that Southern hospitality? I mean, you've experienced it when we went to Shiner. Come on,
Yeah, absolutely.
those guys,
But I
awesome,
wasn't shy
awesome show.
about it. I'm just like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, but coming from the sheltered being that I used to be, that
Can
you
we
understand where I come from.
break off of this and just talk about Shiner real quick?
Let's do it.
All hail Shiner. They are the
Is it
Willy
top beer for
Wonka.
you, or is it not the top beer for you?
It is not the top beer for me, but it
It
is a
should be.
top
It
beer.
should
It is
be.
a top beer. But when it comes to beer
What is top beer
experiences
for you
at a
then?
brewery,
What is top beer?
I mean, dude, I've had so many. It depends.
No,
It's
top beer
varied.
for should be not necessarily the taste, but the hospitality.
No, that's dumb because beer is just the drinking experience.
I'm telling
This was a
Shiner.
separate experience. They're gonna want their beers.
They're gonna revoke your Texas pass.
My freaking Shiner mug just shatters in the cabinet right now. But anyways, because to me, like, there's one of like, okay, a beer is like when you go out and you're eating, or you just have something
Yeah,
at
it's a
home
good
by
beer,
yourself. It is a good
but
beer. Well, shut up. Hold on. Let me finish.
fine,
Well, when I'm
go.
talking about the beer experience at like a brewery, that's very specific. And I haven't been to a ton of breweries, so I can't say, like, for instance, one of my top beers is, and probably will always be, Orion on Tap. Orion on Tap is a
Now,
fantastic
if you
beer.
went to the Orion, Orion Tap is pretty good though.
Yeah. So,
Miss
but
that
I've also
restaurant.
never been to their brewery, so I don't know, So that's why I
Get
have a
out,
hard time answering that
Gene.
question. But I will say this about Shiner Brewery: super awesome that they've kept pretty much the entirety of all the original building and stuff like that. Obviously, with upgrades and renovations, but
It is a very Willy Wonka experience if you
it
think
is
about it.
the really cool little walkthrough of the place. They have a stupid good restaurant there with. I'm telling you right now, and I think I told you towards the end of my time over there. Out of all of the different briskets that I had, the best brisket was the one from their freaking kitchen. That was the best brisket out of every other brisket that I had. It was so good. But anyways, and then on top of that, they tried killing us
With so much beer.
with so much beer. You get there, you buy your ticket, boom. Like what was it, 3 or 4 beer tokens? Oh, that's
Mm-hmm.
cool. You go, you get some beer. This is delicious while you're waiting and stuff. Then you go to the merch place. You buy some merch. Oh, you bought merch? Here's a handful of more tokens. Holy crap. Okay, I guess I'll go drink more beer. Then it's your time to go on your tour. You take your little tour. It's a good little time. And then at the end of the tour, they're like, oh, by the way, here's a few more beer tokens. And on top of that, at the end of the tour, we generally like to give out
Why did you
some
take a 24 back home?
dude. Okay, so we were in a group of 4.
I still have the beer in my fridge. I'm still trying to get through it.
Oh my gosh, you little wuss. Uh, but yeah, they I think it was 48 or 62, something like that. It was an incredible amount of beer cans because we had two options, and I forgot exactly what they were, but the one that we went was I think it was like a 12-pack variety pack, and we got like how many? 4, 5, 6 of them, something like that.
And the funny thing is, they wanted to give us more, but like,
Yeah. They wanted to give us more. We just didn't have the room for it. And it was just like, dude, this is amazing. In such a short span of time, because we weren't there terribly long, like what, maybe 3 hours tops, 3.5.
more than likely,
maybe.
yeah.
We had so much beer that I had to force myself to get through the last 2 tokens that I had, and I saved 1 as a souvenir. But it was amazing. I'm like, I almost felt like I was being abused with kindness. It was just so much free beer.
And then you had the interaction with some of the people that work there.
Which interaction?
Oh, yeah, the Southern hospitality.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, it was a great time. Shiner Brewery, one of the best. Right now, it is the best. I haven't been to every single brewery.
And I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna interject this. Like, not just Shiner in general, but like my experience coming from where I grew up. Like, people here are genuinely nice.
Yeah,
and I'm starting. Well, not just starting, but I'm there now. I'm a small talker now, which is strange for me, being the person I am.
it's about time.
Yeah. Anyways, it was just a huge culture shock for me when I moved down here to Texas, and I'm not gonna say I'm enjoying the Southern hospitality myself that I've actually incorporated into my life as well. Just small talking, just being genuinely kind to people for the most part who deserve it.
He's becoming a man, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, no.
The liberal Californian, he's fighting it.
Nah, it's gone, man. I mean, we had this conversation last time when I went to come visit my dad. I'm like, I don't have a reason to come back home besides family. It's awesome. I mean, I love it out here. This is literally where I'm going to raise my kids, and I'm excited.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to hold you to that. Because if by the time I'm ready to move over there and I get there and they're like, oh, by the way, we're moving again, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to find you.
I mean, if I'm moving again, I'm probably still going to be in the same state. Not going to lie.
Well, yeah, okay. Texas is massive, all right? So you can be in the same state and still super damn far away.
I mean, New Braunfels maybe, but I'm good where I'm at. I like where I'm at.
Houston's gorgeous. I love Houston. Houston, number one. Best place out of Texas by far that I've been to.
So let's end with this. So you said you've come to Texas in prior trips before. So what makes not Texas? What makes Houston stand out to you?
Less minorities.
We talking about? We have the most minorities.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Have you ever been to El Paso?
Oh my lord. Well, no, I don't have a reason to go out there. It's pretty much Arizona and New Mexico at that point.
Yeah, no, I ain't about that. San Antonio, way more variety. And the time that I was in Dallas, I wasn't there terribly long, but
Dallas is meh. The only place I'd probably say you probably missed out was, and it was on the list, but we can always circle back to it another time you come over here. New Braunfels, Round Rock, those are places you want to definitely check out. Austin, we should check out Austin too. They got some awesome.
Austin's the last spot that I haven't been to yet. I know a lot of people from there.
We got to go Father Alex Jones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I have to go. I have to see my uncle Alex.
They don't own the Alex Jones store. They don't own the Alex Jones store.
No, you forgot the .com. They don't own AlexJonesStore.com. They don't
Don't
own
own,
AlexJonesStore.com.
they don't own my ass either, please.
No, but yeah, no, definitely wanna check out the other spots of Texas. But so far, the reason why I think Houston is top on the list, you get better weather compared to
Not right
no,
now.
no, 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 no. Well, yes, I don't mean all the time, always. Okay, California generally, a lot of people say it has the best weather, but it just depends on what your outlook of good weather
Unless it's
is.
not wildfire season. Kind of to
Exactly, we
Hawaii.
have our bad stuff, but what I'm saying is, generally speaking. So, for instance, as a comparison, right? I've been to San Antonio and El Paso around the same time of year before, and both were really kind of muggy and not fun. I've been to Louisiana, which is your next door neighbor, around the same time of year, and that was humid as hell, miserable. Over there, when I went, we had maybe a day and a half of semi-humid weather. The rest of it was
It's
completely fine. Was
To
it
be
hot?
fair, it's
Sure.
normally humid, yes.
Well, I know, because it depends on the time of the year. But my point is, when you go, during the fall or the winter, you generally won't expect humidity because of how like weather works. Um, so when you go to a place in the fall or the winter and it's humid, then that means, oh, it must be hell the other time of year as well. So it's just a good insight into it because it shows that at least that area has variety. It's not just humid all year round, you know. Um, like you guys, when you have a winter, it's an actual winter, and sometimes you even get snow, you know. Um, there's variety in your seasons and they're noticeable, which is nice. I don't mind there being a gross, muggy, nasty summer as long as I know that, oh, when fall comes around, it's not going to be that bad. And then when winter comes around, it's going to be cold, it's going to be, snowy or whatever. Like, it's nice to know that the seasons change, you know? Um, so there's that. Cost of living, although that is currently changing because the
So
massive amount.
though for a Californian, I'd say yes, it's decent. It apparently is a lot cheaper back in the day based on the conversations I've had.
Yes, of course. Yes, it was cheaper before. Right now, it's going up a bit for obvious reasons because everybody's moving over there. But
Fucking
still,
California's moving out here.
compared to right now, gas prices really good. Um, Grocery store, there were some things that were about the same,
Hey,
if not.
you
You know,
forgot to praise our Lord and Savior Bucky and
I'm not there
HEB.
yet, Jackwad. But
Don't
yeah,
talk
no,
shit about that.
never. I love those places. But yeah, no, groceries and stuff like that. There were a decent amount that were very similar to, California, but a lot of it, especially the meat, dairy, certain produce and stuff like that, was definitely several dollars cheaper than what you would find over here. Um, and then variety, and this is where I'm going to lead into the good old boy of Bucky's and HEB, that the variety that you have around you in Houston is tremendous, and then the surrounding areas, because
It's
obviously,
the funny thing is it's not even like the super HEB. I don't even think I took you to super HEB out in Fulshire.
no, we were going to, but then we did it. But regardless, um, the grocery stores, they're number one, very clean, very well kept, wonderful.
And here's the crazy thing: they're only local here. They've had every opportunity to IPO and go out to different states. They just choose to stay here,
No,
do
Bucky's
everything
is going to
locally.
Arizona.
I'm talking about HEB, but yes.
Oh, okay. But anyways, yeah, super clean, super nice, beautiful variety of everything, and certain ingredients that would normally be kind of a pain in the butt to try to find over here seemed to be, at least in Houston, in plenty, which is nice. Um, Obviously got to talk about Bucky's. I've been to a lot of gas stations and truck stop type places or whatever, all around a lot of the US. Not so much on the east side, but, central to west. And I've been to a lot of cool places. I've been to wonderful spots. Nothing comes close to Bucky's. Bucky's has such an operation there. It's probably involved in something illegal, I would imagine.
You think so? Probably the
They're,
employees, but okay.
it's 24/7. They're making, what is that? Beef jerky that you can go up to like a butcher shop. They're making, brisket sandwiches, pulled pork, all these different things all day. I can't imagine how many freaking cows a single location goes through in a week.
Well, the reason why they do that is it's not just for us; it's for the truckers that are just delivering stuff all day. They always stop by Bucky's and grab all that
Yeah,
stuff.
well, it makes sense. I would too, because the food there was real damn good for
For
a,
a gas
for a
station,
gas
which is
station.
hilarious.
Yeah, they
They
make
don't tell
their
you to
own
eat the gas
candies
station
there.
sushi.
They make their own, sodas and stuff. It's just like, holy mackerel! And then you have a bunch of different like home goods and other like equipment and gear that you might need, and it's just wonderful. It's a wonderful spot. And then the bathrooms. Okay,
As you get to the
I'm the type
bathroom.
of man who, if I have to take a dump, all right, I'm going to wait until I get home and take a dump, because I don't like people. I don't like the public. I don't trust the public. And generally, you go into a public restroom around here and it's nasty. Or if it's not nasty, there's something weird about it.
Nasty
You
or
just
some
don't trust.
crackhead there trying to blow someone for
Yeah,
extra
I'm going to
crack.
sit down and I'm going to absorb massive concentrated amounts of fentanyl residue through my butt cheek and die on the toilet. Like, that's probably what's going to happen, So I prefer to just wait until I'm at the comfort of my own home, sit on my own throne that I clean, that I know is trustworthy, and then hate my life while I'm taking a dump. It's just how I prefer it. Bucky's, on the other hand, you go inside and it's massive. It's a huge restroom area, which is fantastic within of itself. But the main thing is how clean everything is. They have that system where, when somebody's in a stall, there's a light, so the light turns red. That way everybody can easily see which stalls are free and which ones aren't, which is nice and convenient. But the cleanliness was the overall kicker for me, because it was super clean, super duper clean. And I realized how it stayed so clean. There's a guy just in there, just waiting around for people to step out of the stall that they then go into immediately, spray down and wipe down. And I'm like, holy crap, that's impressive. What, he must be getting paid semi decently, because that seems like a terrible job. And then I go into the stall. What do you mean?
You've seen the signs what Bucky's been playing their employees.
Yeah. Well, like I said, that's why they're taking the job, because that job sucks. I'm sorry, you would not want to just like.
Oh, it sucks, but at least they're getting paid.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So then I walk into the stall to see it for myself, and it is sparkling clean. And it's like every stall is its own little room. I have a full wall between me and my
Hey, your neighbor taking the shit.
neighbors. Yeah. And then when you close the door, there's no gap. There's no gap on the side for some freaking weirdo to be like, "Oh, are you taking a dump in there?" Yes. And then 3 seconds comes back.
Are you still
Are you
pooping?
still pooping? Can I see your weenie? It's like, bro, go away. No gap. Obviously, there's a gap on the bottom because you got to be able to see in there sometimes if the door's locked or whatever. But I got no problem with that. It wasn't obscenely, huge.
Open as it normally is.
Yeah, absolutely not. Plenty of privacy. One downside, and it's not even really a downside, it's just slightly a downside because of what I'm used to. It's so clean and they're so on top of their game. They don't even provide toilet seat covers. Now, if I had to go real bad, I probably would have gladly just sat on the seat, bare buns and all. But I didn't. I still made my own toilet seat cover out of beautifully placed, pieces of toilet paper. But I get it though. I get it. It
Oh
weirds me
man,
out a
that's
little bit to
almost
not
an
have a toilet seat
insult. Like
cover.
you don't
I
trust
know.
their cleanliness.
Hey, I get it. I understand. But I mean, from where I come from, it's a bit of a culture shock. Okay, but you know what helped me
You and me
be
both.
confident about their cleanliness was that billboard that we saw off the highway that said, "Let's all work together to keep Houston as clean as our bathrooms are," or something like
Oh
that. I'm
hell
like,
yeah.
holy crap! You guys straight up have that much confidence that you bought out a billboard to just be like, "Hey, let's keep our city as clean as our bathrooms are." Like that. That shows confidence. And so after seeing that, I will next time sit bare buns on a Bucky's
Yeah.
toilet seat.
How
All right.
dare you insult my city, bro?
What are you talking about? That's not an insult.
To put toilet paper and you don't trust them. Ah, sad.
No, it's not trust. It's just, you know what? My little beaner buns don't belong in such a clean seat.
Well, that's where we differ, man. We take pride in what we do out here.
Yeah. Well, like I said, after that billboard, next time I will sit down bare buns.
Well,
But yeah, it was
you best stick to that mantra that you will sit bare buns in a Bucky's toilet because
I will.
you damn well sure that when I took a shit at a Dumpy's,
Dumpies.
at a Bucky's stall, I would put my bare ass on that toilet because I knew Texas pride that'd be
Next
able to
year,
cleanly sit.
around November, when I go back out for the Renaissance Festival,
Okay.
I'll go for like 6 days or whatever. Because mind you, this company that I'm working with right now, when I get hired on directly, they give you 3 weeks vacation up front. You don't even have to accrue it. So if that ends up happening sometime next year, I will have vacation pay. So I'll just go, spend I'll probably do, I don't know, Wednesday through Wednesday or something. I don't know. But anyways, yeah. And so when I go, you can remind me, hey, bare buns at Bucky's. Bucky's bare buns.
Bare buns at Bucky's, and don't forget
Bare
to buy
buns.
yourself a shirt out here.
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
All right. With that being said, we give praise to our Lord and Savior. Here, everything is better. HEB, and of course, our second, Bucky's. Anything you'd like to say, sir?
Hey, I'm just glad we're doing this again, and hopefully we can be semi-consistent.
We'll try our best.
But other than that, I mean, hey, to whoever lends us an ear, and especially this all the way to the end, we thank you. We love you, even if we don't know you, and it's been fun. Also, hey, because we're not going to get another one in before the new year, so
More than likely.
Merry Christmas. I know it's already passed. Who cares? Merry Christmas regardless. And have a wonderful, happy, and hopefully very blessed new year, the 2025.
Adios, amigos.